Yes! 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 Best pay-per-view of the year. Don't get it twisted. This stays right here. I think I just broke my bed. Yep. It's broke. That's okay. Ambrose won the title! Yeah! Yeah! You're goddamn right, motherfuckers! Ambrose is now the WWE World Heavyweight Champion! Yeah! Vindicated. I just spoiled at least 2 matches. Well, maybe not so much. It don't matter. I don't even care. The Money in the Bank pay-per-view, June 19th, 2016, Las Vegas, Nevada's T-Mobile Arena. The pre-show, of course, starts off with the panel, Renee Young, Corey Graves, Booker T, and replacing Jerry Lawler, who was arrested, domestic dispute, or domestic violence. Replacing Jerry Lawler is Lita. They talk for a while. They segue back to Tom Phillips, who's in the social media lounge. And he says that later on I'm going to have Becky Lynch and Natalya join me to answer some of your questions. They show a video package for the Cena and AJ Styles match. And then the panel talks about it. There's a commercial break. And the panel talks about the tag team title match. And then we go back to another video package. This one showing, I don't know if it was earlier today or if it was on SmackDown. Apparently, Tyler Breeze and Johnny Fandango are getting a little close with each other. They went tanning together, and they had this big, huge tanning thing. They had this big, huge tanning thing that stands upright, and you actually walk into the damn thing. They get into it back to back. Up comes Truth and Goldust, who crank up the knob on it. And then the thing says an hour and a half later or some shit. Tyler and Johnny walk out looking like lobsters. They're all burnt. They've got skin flaking off of them and shit. There's a bunch of other very homoerotic segments of Johnny and Tyler sitting there. Johnny's like, here's a banana, and Tyler's like, oh, and he's like, no, you don't eat it, you rub it in. It's supposed to help with the sunburn. They're rubbing it in, using lotion and shit. It's all this really weird shit. Anyways, another commercial after all of that. Cutting back live to the arena, Golden Truth comes out to a pop. And I happened to notice the Bullet Club shirt in the crowd. Actually, yeah, the camera looked at it, saw it, and immediately they jump cutted to something else. Breeze and Fandango come out to no reaction, and they're still sunburnt. And already I have to back up. This match was added to the pay-per-view, the pre-show. I was stupid and fucking recorded and uploaded my predictions video way early in the week. Goddamn WWE added 2 shows to the pre-show after I already uploaded my damn video. If you go back and look, I already added updates that talk about it and my predictions. This was one of the matches they added. This was the first one they added. And I predicted Golden Truth to win this. And sure enough, they won it. The match was okay. Basically, it was mainly just... Goldust and Truth taking advantage of Johnny and Tyler's sunburn. Chopping them across the sunburn, slapping it, just doing everything they can to agitate that. And I'm thinking it's really kind of coming off as heelish. But whatever. There was a big clusterfuck at the end. Truth and Breeze wound up outside of the ring, and Goldust nails Johnny with the final cut, the lifting into a neck breaker thing. At first I called it the curtain call, but I'm like, no, it's not the curtain call, because one of the commentators actually go, oh, that's the final cut. So Goldust hits the final cut on Johnny and gets the win. Pop, commercial break. Coming back from the break, we cut back to one of the locker rooms, and there's Cesaro. He's got headphones on, he's listening to music. Up comes Sami Zayn, starts talking to him. And at first, Cesaro doesn't even notice him. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, okay, hi. And they talk. Basically, I think this was only there as damage control. Since Cesaro cut that kind of heelish promo on Sami on Raw, they needed to get his overness back. So basically, Cesaro's like, yeah, we're still friends, we're still going to be friends, but I'm trying to get into the zone here. So, good luck, see you later, all that, yeah. So yeah, like I said, that was basically just damage control. So, yeah. After that, they show a video package for the Money in the Bank match. The panel talks about it, another commercial break. We cut back to the social media lounge. Becky and Natty answer the questions, yada yada. Excuse me. Who cares about that shit? And then we get the other match that was added to the pre-show. The Lucha Dragons come out to a pop, and then the Dudleys come out to hardly any reaction. And that's the other match that they added. I predicted the Dudleys to win this, but I actually turned out to be wrong. The Lucha Dragons did a double dive spot out of the ring onto the Dudleys, who were on the outside of the ring, and I think it was Mauro Ranallo, because he does commentary during the pre-show, makes a Game of Thrones reference, saying, "We've got more flying dragons than Game of Thrones," or something to that effect. Bubba, for some fucking retarded reason, does the Hogan thing after clearing the dragons, or he's beating down on them or something. There's a commercial break. The Dudleys hit the Doomsday Device, but the finish comes when Kalisto gets one of the Dudleys like this. He tags Sin Cara, hits him with the Selena del Sol out of the corner. Sin Cara does a nice swanton bomb, whatever the hell Hunico calls that, but he nails that, 1, 2, 3, and the Lucha Dragons win to a pop. We cut back to the panel, who talk about the match between Rollins and Reigns. There's a video package for that, and that's the end of the pre-show, and thus starts the pay-per-view. Intro video is very Vegas themed, all kinds of money, puns, and what happens in Vegas hopefully will not stay in Vegas this time, kind of dumb shit. After the intro video, we get pyro, of course, and we jump right in. Out come Enzo and Cass to a big pop. Enzo goes through his spiel, cuts a promo. If I remember correctly, no, never mind. Yeah, but they cut a promo, yada yada. The vaudevillains come out, and they actually get booed, so they are getting over, at least they are here. And they're actually wearing their pay-per-view attire. They have jacket, old-timey looking coats with like the tailcoats, and Aiden English even has like a dapper looking top hat kind of thing. Excuse me. The club comes out to a pop, and the two of them even look to be sporting new gear. It's all black. They've got like bullet holes on their jackets and shit. It looks really cool. And then the New Day come out to a pop, and they cut a promo, and they make jokes about all the other teams. They name drop the Elite. It was kind of a offhanded kind of a reference. But for those of you who don't know, the Elite is a sub-faction of the Bullet Club, I think. Or maybe that's just the name of the Bullet Club in Ring of Honor. I mentioned before the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Adam Page. I think that's what they call themselves in Ring of Honor. Because I think the Bullet Club name is actually trademarked by New Japan, so they can't use it. Anyways, they end their promo with a New Day rocks, and I'm like, this is getting old, guys. Anyways, we get the Fatal 4-Way match. And I tried to keep my notes to a minimum, but in some cases I couldn't. The match actually turned out to be good. Match starts with a big brawl. Or no, I don't think it started with a big brawl. The big brawl was just the first thing I decided to write down. Yeah, there was some wrestling around. It's under tag rules, so only 2 people can be in the ring at once, but you can tag out to anybody. That went on for a while until all of a sudden all 4 teams get in the ring and they all start brawling. The heels get cleared out of the ring, and then the faces brawl with each other. JBL made some dumb comment about Enzo. And now I can't remember what the fuck it was. We get a big spot. Enzo and Cass were the only ones in the ring. There was a crowd of guys on the outside of the ring. Enzo hits the ropes, comes running up, and Cass lifts him and chucks him over the top rope. Enzo splashes down on top of the group and wipes them out. Enzo immediately gets back into the ring where they go for their rocket launcher finishing move on somebody. I can't remember whoever it was wasn't a part of the group. But they hit their rocket launcher thing. It's a false finish, though, because somebody broke up the pin. Enzo looked like he got hurt. I can't remember what happened. It looked like Enzo maybe hit his head on somebody, maybe. I don't know. The Vaudevillains hit their whirling dervish on somebody, but the count was stopped. I think they hit it on one of the New Day guys, and then the other guy came in and saved it. Big clusterfuck at the end. The New Day ends up in there with Gallows. Gallows eats the big finish, or the big finale, whatever you want to call it. Big E gets him up in the big ending, and Kofi comes jumping off with the DDT. Gallows eats that. Oh yeah. What happened? Aiden English had been hit with something. Oh yeah, Aiden English took the Magic Killer from the Bullet Club guys. And the count was stopped. That's where it came in, because Gallows was laying on top of English for the cover. Big E came in, grabbed him, flipped him up onto his shoulder, and turned him into Kofi to plant him with the big finish. Gallows rolled in towards his own corner. So Big E covers Aiden English and gets the 1-2-3. So the New Day wins. They retain the tag titles, just as I predicted. There was probably a big pop there. We cut backstage to the interview area, and there's Tom Phillips. And there's Kevin Owens. And Phillips is trying to interview Owens. Up comes Jericho, who starts running his mouth. Up comes Del Rio, who also runs his mouth. Bunch of bullshit. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. Here's the gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man. Shit promo. Moving on. Vampire Stole My Lunch Money comes out to no reaction. Baron Corbin. Followed by Dolph Ziggler. Now, as you recall, this was actually supposed to be one of the pre-show matches. Well, apparently it got bumped up to the pay-per-view. So, whoop-de-doo. This match goes just the way I thought it was, or thought it would. Turns out to be a decent match. At the beginning of the match, there was a dueling chant for Ziggler. Let's go Ziggler, Ziggler sucks. Later on in the match, there was a boring chant, because it was mostly Corbin beating the crap out of Ziggler, and it was pretty boring. There was a cool sequence. Can't remember what it was. They wind up going to the outside. Okay. Corbin was out on the outside. Ziggler was around the corner on the floor from him. Around the corner of the ring. Ziggler come running up, tried to jump off the ring steps to jump on Corbin. But it looked like as Ziggler jumped onto the steps, he slipped and started falling forward. Well, Corbin actually did a good job of catching Ziggler and lifting him up, swinging him around, and hitting the deep six on him on the floor. So, give Corbin a couple of points there for catching Ziggler. Yeah. Back in the ring, Corbin went for the end of days. But Ziggler continued the rotation. You know, when you flip him this way, he somehow flipped all the way over, landed on his feet, and then super kicked Corbin. Ziggler had been going for the super kick the whole match. Either way, yada yada yada. Corbin ends up hitting the end of days, and he gets the win, and the crowd's dead. So let's just move on. We cut backstage. There's Rollins getting ready for his match. No talking, no nothing. We cut to a commercial break. Coming back, out comes Charlotte and Dana Brooke. They come out to woos. While they're coming out, we get a recap from Extreme Rules when Dana dressed up as Ric Flair to fool Natalya. Becky comes out to a pop, and then Natalya comes out to a pop. And we get the match between these two. Match turned out to be crap. Although Natalya and Becky did hit the Heart Attack, the old finishing move of Bret and Jim the Anvil when they were the Hart Foundation. I think Natty lifted Charlotte up. Becky hits the ropes and does the jumping clothesline. Either way, yada yada yada, bunch of bullshit, big clusterfuck. Charlotte hits the natural selection on Natalya and gets the win. Crowd's dead again. Charlotte and Dana leave, and while they're leaving, Natalya and Becky are there in the ring, and out of nowhere, Natalya attacks Becky and beats the crap out of her. I'm like, what the fuck? Crowd was booing. They're stunned. They're like, what the fuck, Natalya? I'm guessing this was just done to get Becky over, because after the beatdown, Natalya leaves, obviously. And the camera continues to follow Becky, who slowly pulls herself back up to her feet, and the crowd starts cheering for her. So we're getting Becky over, but we're making Natalya look like shit. Anyways, commercial break. Backstage again in the interview area, there's Tom Phillips again, and up comes Ambrose. And he cuts a good fucking promo. Can't remember what he said, but it was good. Back out to the arena, Sheamus comes out to hardly any reaction. And we get a recap of the feud. Not really a recap of the feud, a recap of when Sheamus first attacked Apollo Crews out of nowhere on Raw the one week. Out comes Crews to, again, hardly any reaction, because nobody cares about either one of those two, really. While he's coming out, we get a recap from SmackDown 2 weeks ago of Crews punking out Sheamus. And Sheamus flipping the fuck out. He got cracked and knocked on his ass. He starts throwing shit because other people were there laughing at him. Anyways, back in the ring, the two start brawling immediately, and the ref has to break them up. The match finally starts. Yada, yada, yada. There was an interesting spot where Sheamus was on the floor. He grabs Crews, who's on the apron, and gets him and slams him down, Irish curse, to the floor. So it was kind of interesting there. Back in the ring, stupid Sheamus, he's beating down Crews. And he's beating down Crews, and he's like, "Are you not entertained?" And I'm like, "No! Tell a joke! You suck!" He keeps doing this, and he's stupid as fuck every time, the moron. Go back to sucking Triple H's cock, you pale prick. Sheamus gets belly-to-belly suplexed out of the fucking ring, over the top rope, to the floor. And Crews follows it up. He goes out to the apron. Sheamus is laying on the floor. Crews moonsaults from the apron, splashes down on Sheamus on the floor. Back in the ring, I think Crews was working on Sheamus, and he hit something that looked like the angle slam. I'm not sure if it was or not, but it looked like it. Anyways, they go up to the top rope, and this is the finish of the match. Sheamus gets Crews over and hooks him up from the second rope, drops him down, super white noise, crashes down hard. He's laying on top of him, 1 and a 2, and Crews kicks out. And Sheamus is like, what the fuck? There's no way he kicked out of that. He's arguing with the referee. All of a sudden, Cruz grabs him, rolls him over like crucifix-style pin. 1, 2, 3. Cruz gets the win and rolls the hell out of Dodge real quick. Crowd pops. I'm laughing my ass off. Because I knew Sheamus was going to lose, but that was just fucking humiliating. We cut backstage. There's Roman Reigns, also preparing for his match. The crowd boos. We cut to a commercial. Another video package, this time for Cena and AJ. And I think it was the same one they showed on the pre-show. AJ comes out to a pop and even gets Ring of Honor style streamers. I don't think he got many of them though. There was like 1 or 2. Cena comes out to mostly boos. He stops on the stage, and he looks at the camera and he says, "This don't faze me." Yeah, whatever, Cena. It don't faze you. You fucking bitch. We get the match between these two, and it actually turned out to be good. Again, I'd have to say it was mostly Styles carrying the match. Start of the match, there's a dueling chant, "Let's go Cena, AJ Styles." It died down, and then it started back up again, and then it died back down, and then they were just chanting, "AJ, AJ." These two were trading stuff, whatever the fuck. They wound up on the outside of the ring, where Cena went to throw AJ into the stairs, and AJ, using his quickness, just slid over it Duke Boys style. Basically, the story of the first part of this match is AJ is just owning Cena. AJ has an answer for everything Cena does, and AJ is beating the crap out of Cena. He's punching. Cena goes to punch, AJ ducks it and cracks him. He goes to punch, ducks it and cracks him, and he's just... AJ was about literally wrestling circles around Cena. Cena started making his comeback. He does his stupid shoulder tackles, and he goes for the stupid protoplex. But how did AJ counter it? I think he lifted it up, and AJ just fell down behind him. Cena turns around and eats the Pele kick. Back on the outside, AJ dives out, hitting the phenomenal forearm on Cena on the floor. AJ crashes on the floor. What happened? AJ went for something on the outside. With a dive or something, maybe? I don't know. But he crashed and burned. Yeah. Back in the ring, Cena's able to lock in the STF, but AJ makes it to the ropes. Another dueling chant. Cena goes for the attitude adjustment, but AJ slides down the back and rolls Cena immediately into the calf crusher. Cena makes it to the ropes. Cena is able to hit the attitude adjustment, but only gets a 2 count, as AJ got the shoulder up or kicked out or whatever. Cena stupidly goes up to the top rope, and he goes for that big jumping leg drop thing that he does. Well, he's coming down, AJ catches him and power bombs him. Didn't break Cena's neck, because the way Batista did it, he did it straight into a power bomb. AJ kind of didn't really hold him, but he kind of threw him off to the side a little bit. So that maybe cushioned the blow for Cena. I don't know. Another Pele kick from AJ. And AJ grabs Cena and he cinches him up and he gets him in the clash and he plants him with the Styles Clash and rolls him over. And the crowd was counting 1, 2, like they knew this was going to be it. Cena kicks out. Match keeps going. AJ goes for his springboard 450. Cena gets his knees up to counter it. There was another cool sequence. I really should have wrote this shit down and been more detailed, but whatever. The ref takes a bump. He got sandwiched in the corner or something. He goes down. Cena hits the attitude adjustment, but since the ref is down, there's no one to count. And Cena was on top of AJ, he's got the leg hook, and the crowd was even counting 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't matter, though, because it's just the crowd. Well, out come Gallows and Anderson, who grab Cena, get him up, and hit the fucking magic killer on him. And then they grab AJ, and they put him on top of Cena, and they get the hell out of there. The referee finally comes to. He sees AJ's got the cover. He's like, 1, 2, 3. AJ wins. Popped from the crowd. AJ's still kind of woozy after the attitude adjustment because he doesn't know what the hell just happened. He knows his music is playing and the ref's holding his hand up. He's like, yeah, I won, whatever. Commercial break. I was thinking like somebody was going to come out, like Shane or Stephanie, and they're going to say, no, the club wasn't supposed to interfere. That's bullshit. We need to restart this match. No. They cut to a commercial. That was it. Another video package for the Money in the Bank match. In fact, it's the same one as before. So it's time for the Money in the Bank match. Jericho comes out to no reaction. Cesaro comes out to a small pop. Sami Zayn comes out to a pop. Del Rio comes out to boos and nothing. Owens comes out to a pop. And then Ambrose comes out to a pop. And so here's the Money in the Bank match, which turned out to be good. I wish I could just skip to the end, but... yeah, actually, there's some spots here that I want to talk about, so I'm actually going to go through this. Del Rio stopped Sammy. Sammy was climbing. Del Rio pulls him down, whatever. Del Rio ends up locking in the cross-arm breaker on Cesaro on top of the ladder. Like, the ladder was set up there at the top, and he locks it in on the top. So that was kind of interesting. Cesaro does the swing on Jericho, ending by chucking Jericho into a ladder that was propped up against the bottom rope. Ambrose hits the lunatic fringe elbow on Cesaro, jumping off of one of the ladders. Owens hits his bullfrog splash on Ambrose, who was laid out on a ladder. This was a big clusterfuck, and it gets exclamation pointed by Sammy coming in, picking up Owens, and Michinoku drivering him back first onto a ladder that was set up on its edge. So Owens goes spine first, right on the spine of the ladder. Looked fucking sick. Del Rio stops Sammy again. And, okay, here comes the finish. There's one ladder set up in the middle of the ring right under the briefcase. Del Rio had taken another ladder, wedged one end of it in the stairs of the middle ladder, between that and the corner. Cesaro, I think, took another ladder and did the same thing on the other side. So now we've got two ladders going this way, into the corners, on the A-beam ladder that's set up. We end up with all 6 guys doing the indie guy forearm shots, hitting each other. There was 2 guys on the top of the ladder in the middle, and then the other 4 guys were 2 and 2 standing on the other 2 ladders, and they're just duking it out. Yada, 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 bunch of shit. Ambrose plants Jericho with a Dirty Deeds, plants him on the mat, but Jericho's legs were stuck on the ladder, so he plants him from the ladder, kind of thing. Owens powerbombed Sammy on the ladder, one of the straight ladders. There was a big kerfluffle up on the frickin' top of the thing, but it ends with Ambrose getting the briefcase. And Ambrose wins. Big fucking pop. Yes! Of course, we already knew that from my outburst at the beginning. I just wrecked my fucking bed. Cut to a commercial. Coming back, the panel is talking. They recap the pre-show matches. And we cut back to the ring, and there's Lana. She introduces Rusev, who comes out to no fucking reaction. And then out comes Titus O'Neil to no fucking reaction. Even to the point where Titus has his kids sat at the front row at ringside, right next to the ring. Yada, yada, yada. We get the match between these two. U.S. title match. Crap. They start off brawling on the outside. I was so bored I started watching porn. Rusev goes for the accolade, but Titus blocks it. Titus hits Rusev with Wrath's Meltdown. If you don't remember Wrath from WCW, it was Brian Clark, I think. Yeah. Pump handle into a power slam. That's what he did. O'Neil also hit some other variation on a pump handle. He got him up, lifted, and then he rolled and slammed him on his back. Titus kind of threw him down, and he rolled and landed on his back. It was weird, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Rusev starts teeing off, beating the crap out of Titus, gets him down, locks him in the fucking accolade. Excuse me. And O'Neil has to tap out. Rusev wins, retains the title, crowd's dead, no one fucking cares. Rusev goes out and grabs a microphone. And he goes over to Titus's kids at ringside. And he says, "You see it, Dad?" He's actually speaking English for once. He's like, "You see it, Dad? He's a loser. And he's never going to beat me for this U.S. title." And then he ends by saying, "Happy Father's Day!" And he drops the mic and walks off with Lana. And I'm like, you fucking troll. That's genius. Because it actually is Father's Day. Commercial break. Guess what? That was the Death Spot match. It's time for the main event. And it was already damn close to 11 o'clock. The pay-per-view actually went over 11 o'clock. By a good bit, I think. They show the video package for Reigns and Rollins again. And cutting back to the arena, Rollins comes out to a pop. And while he's coming out, they announce that the Battleground pay-per-view is going to be next, July 24th, in, I believe they said, Washington, D.C. Soon as Rollins gets done with his entrance, the crowd immediately starts booing, because they know Roman is up next. After a frickin' ridiculous pause, I'm like, is he coming? Come on. Are you waiting for them to let the boos die down? They're not gonna stop booing this motherfucker. Reigns finally comes out, mostly boos. And then Lillian does the big match intros. Whatever, we get this match between these two. Holy fuck, this notes went on for a while. The match was actually good. But again, that was probably Rollins carrying the match. There's a "Let's Go Rollins" chant at the beginning of the match, and then a "You Can't Wrestle" chant directed at Roman. Rollins hits a suicide dive. There's a "Roman sucks" chant. I'm still watching porn. Min sucks. Rollins slapped Roman in the face, which pissed Roman off. He started teeing off. Rollins comes back, just starts slapping the crap on him, like doing those indie slaps, whatever the fuck. He goes slap happy on him. They spill out to the outside, where Roman clears off... Or no, Roman is banging Seth's head on the announce table, and even clears the stupid crap off the top of it. Doesn't get a chance to use it. Roman ends up getting thrown into the stairs. I think he was trying to throw Seth into it, but Seth reversed it and threw Roman into the stairs. Back in the ring, I think Rollins was going for something on the top rope, but Roman countered it, got him into the Razor's Edge, crucifix powerbomb, lifts him into a nice sit-out variant. Got a 2 count off of that. He goes for the Superman punch. Oh, right. He went for the Superman punch. Rollins catches him and face plants him into the corner, because that's something that Rollins has been doing. It's like a mic check into the corner. Rollins hits an enziguri. Another suicide... Oh, this was a good one. Rollins hits a suicide dive, pushing Roman up against the barricade. Rollins lands on his feet, turns around, jumps back into the ring, hits the ropes again, and comes running and jumps with a nice flipping senton, wiping Roman out. So a couple of nice dives back to back. Another good sequence. Bunch of countering and shit like that, ending with a Superman punch. It looked really good, though. Seth hits his big springboard flying knee. He had went for it once before. I think that was actually part of the good sequence. He went for it, Roman dodged it, they went around and around, and it ended with a Superman punch. But then Rollins is able to hit the flying knee. Rollins goes up to the top rope and does a Rob Van Dam style, almost 5-star frog splash, even bouncing off of him to hold his guts before going to the pin. Rollins somehow got... Oh, yeah. Another top rope spot. Rollins was on the top rope, and Roman was trying to, get him, superplex him. Rollins fought him off. They kept going around and around. Finally, they're both up there on the top. Rollins slips down between Roman's legs and gets him for the powerbomb, and he takes him all the way across the ring to the other corner, power bombs him into the corner, the turnbuckle bomb. Or maybe that was earlier in the match, I don't know. Maybe not. He hits the turnbuckle bomb on him, and I guess Roman was down on his knees. He turns around, and Rollins super kicks him in the face. Was basically Del Rio's concussion kick, which Rollins was actually doing in FCW first. He called it Avada Kedavra. And if you know Harry Potter, that's the death spell, or whatever. But yeah, that looks like it would take somebody's fucking head off. You super kick them in the face when they're down on their knees, basically. Oh, then there was another good spot. Seth gets Roman on the top rope, and they fought for a while, whatever the fuck, but it ends. Rollins gets Roman, superplexes him, they land in the ring, Rollins rolls through, gets Roman back up, lifts him up again, turns him into a Falcon's arrow. It flowed together really well. Again, Rollins is good for that. It was really smooth and buttery. Only got a 2 count off of it, obviously. Another weird sequence. They went around and around, and it ended with Rollins going down something, and Roman lifting him up with one arm into a big lifting power bomb. I don't know how in the hell that came to happen, but whatever. He hits the lifting, and it was in a sit-down power bomb too, I think. And he got another 2 count off of it. The two of them are down. They're sucking wind. They get up. Well, they don't get up, but they turn around. They're on the mat still, but they turn and they look at each other. And they just got dagger eyes for each other. Stare down. They're like, motherfucker, I fucking hate your guts. And yeah, they start doing the trading blow spot where one guy hits the other one, they go, ah, and then he comes back and hits him, they go, ah, and there's the boo and the yay from the crowd because they boo Roman and they yay for Seth, whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, Rollins does the turnbuckle bomb again, throwing Roman into another turnbuckle. Roman just bounces out of it and jumps up and hits a Superman punch. So Roman basically no-sold the turnbuckle bomb. The commentators tried to brush it off by saying Roman used the momentum to bounce out of the corner to hit the Superman punch. I'm like, eat shit. By this point in the match, the crowd starts chanting, "We want Ambrose." I'm like, yeah. Okay. After that spot, Rollins had rolled to the outside of the ring. And he was over down in the corner, over by the timekeeper's area. You know, the corner where Roman keeps spearing people through the barricade. Well, that's what he goes for here. Unfortunately, Rollins gets the fuck out of the way. He dives out of the way at the last second, and Roman hits the fucking barricade hard. Surprisingly, the barricade didn't just topple over like it always does. It moved quite a bit, but Roman folds up like an accordion. He looked like he hit his head hard, because there's actually some metal bracers in those barricades with just some padding on the outside, so hitting your head on that ain't fun. The match screeches to a fucking halt because everybody's like, oh no, is Roman hurt? Doctors and other referees came out and they're checking on Roman, and Rollins is standing over by the commentary table like, shit, I probably shouldn't have done that because, like, if Roman can't continue, I can't beat him and win the match. So before the fucking referees, Roman's like out on his feet, he's like swinging at nothing, he's trying to compose himself, but he's stumbling all over the place, looking like a drunk man. Doing a better sell job than Cena ever would. I'll give him that much credit. Anyway. Seth attacks him. He's like, no, fuck that. I'm not losing my chance at the title. He throws Roman back into the ring. Seth goes for the pedigree. He gets him folded like that, but Roman breaks out of it and just charges Seth into the corner where the referee is, so squash. Referee Mike Chioda, he gets sandwiched, he falls down. After the squish in the corner, Roman runs around, hits the ropes, Seth turns into a big spear, but the referee's down. Roman covers him, he's still got him covered. The referee, I guess Chioda's been bumped so many times, he's kind of used to it. He didn't sell for very long like they normally do. He didn't sell it like it was gruesome death. Because, I mean, he did kind of just get squished in the corner. It wasn't that bad. But Chioda kind of, he's like, oh, there's a cover. And he's like, 1, 2, and Rollins kicks out. Ah. And then there was the most beautiful fucking thing I've seen. Rollins does something that Triple H's punk ass never could. He never had the genius to think of this. Rollins is in the corner, and Roman's in the opposite corner. Roman comes charging for another spear. He goes to jump. Rollins jumps up, catches him, pedigrees him, plants him face first with the pedigree, catching him out of the spear using his own momentum, planted him on his fucking face. It was goddamn beautiful. And it was ruined by the fact that Roman kicked out at 2. But they're both winded after that. Rollins gets up, grabs Roman, cinches him up. I think Roman tried to fight him a bit, but Rollins just beats the crap out of him. He cinches him up for the pedigree, plops him down one more goddamn time, right in the middle of the ring. He rolls him over. 1, 2, 3. Rollins wins. Pop from the crowd. New champion. Lillian even announces, your winner and new champion Seth Rollins. Rollins is celebrating with the belt for a minute. And then Ambrose's music hits and I'm like, yes! Yeah! His music is playing, his Titantron is playing at the stage. Rollins is looking up at it like a dumbass. All of a sudden, he turns around, boosh! Gets drilled in the dome by the briefcase from Ambrose. Ambrose completely blindsides him, decks him with the fucking briefcase. He jumps out of the ring, hands the referee the fucking briefcase. He's like, yes, I'm cashing it in. Lillian makes the announcement, he's cashing it in, the fucking people start blowing the fuck up, yeah! Back in the ring, Ambrose is there, he's getting ready for it. Rollins, he gets up, he's kind of woozy, the ref checks on him, ding, 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 kick, dirty deeds, 1, 2, motherfucking 3, Big fucking pop. Ambrose fucking wins. New champion number 2. Big celebration went on for a good couple of minutes. They played replays. Ambrose is holding the belt up. He's like, fuck yes, I won this motherfucker, and I'm... Yes! Yes! Fucking yes! Ambrose, your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's the end of the pay-per-view. Nothing else happened. And I just blew through this pay-per-view so damn quick. I'm hyped up, as you can tell. I just broke my fucking bed. I don't care, though. It was worth it. There's the predictions paper. Let's see. How many did I get right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 I got right. And there was 1, 2, 3 that I got wrong. So 7 out of 10. That's a 70% correct percentage. And yes, that counts the kickoff matches, but, you know, whatever. Still, your World Heavyweight Predictions Champion. Me, motherfucking me. So thank you. As always, I'll just go ahead and go over the matches once again and recap. In the pre-show, we saw the team of Golden Truth defeat the team of Breezango. Okay match. We saw the Lucha Dragons defeat the dumbass Dudleys. Fucking lol. On the pay-per-view, we saw the New Day successfully retain their tag team titles against Enzo and Cass, the Vaudevillains, and the Club. We saw Baron Corbin defeat Dolph Ziggler. Decent match there. The tag team Fatal 4-Way was a good match. Or at least I thought it was. We saw Charlotte and Dana Brooke defeat Becky and Natalya Neidhart in a crap match that only served to turn Natalya heel after the match, turning on Becky for no goddamn reason. We saw Apollo Crews defeat Sheamus, another fucking lol match. He beat him with a fucking hokey-ass roll-up. That's fucking hilarious. We saw AJ Styles defeat John Cena, although tainted after interference from the Club, which was supposed to be strictly forbidden, so I wonder... The feud's going to continue, obviously. Good match, though, between those two. Once again, Styles carried it, of course. We saw Dean Ambrose win the Money in the Bank ladder match to become Mr. Money in the Bank. We saw Rusev defeat Titus O'Neil, fairly easily, I might add, to retain his United States title match, crap match, death spot match. And in the main event of the evening, Seth Rollins defeated Roman Reigns to become the new World Heavyweight Champion, only to be cashed in on by Dean Ambrose, and Ambrose becomes the new World Heavyweight Champion. And that's how the show went off the air. Yes. Retracted my previous statement from the pay-per-view prediction video where I said I never get what I want from these pay-per-views. Tonight, I got what I wanted. Ambrose winning the Money in the Bank and cashing it in to become the new champion. And AJ beating John Cena, although tainted. The only thing I didn't get was Ziggler beating Corbin, but I didn't really care about that. We didn't see Finn Balor, we didn't see the Ascension, we didn't see Brock Lesnar, and we didn't see the Wyatts. But who cares? They'll probably show up tomorrow. Well, the Wyatts probably show up tomorrow night on Raw. Randy Orton is also supposed to return soon, and backstage reports say that Orton will be helping John Cena against the Club, which makes no goddamn sense, because Orton and Cena hate each other. How many fucking feuds have they had? It makes no sense for them to team up. Oh, it's the two old guys fighting off the new guys. Doesn't matter. They still hate each other. Randy Orton punt-kicked Cena's dad in the fucking head. At least once, probably even twice. How the hell could these two possibly get along to fight off the Club? They hate each other. That's it, folks. Thank you for watching the Wrestling Rant tonight. I'll be back tomorrow to do Monday Night Raw. Gonna have to figure out how to fix my bed. Oh well. That was the Money in the Bank pay-per-view from June 19th, 2016 from Paradise/Las Vegas, Nevada's T-Mobile Arena. 7 out of 10, folks. Still champ. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow for Raw, and we will see you then. Bullet Club